Hello and welcome to News9 show, The South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanand. As usual, I shall bring to you 9 top stories from the south of India. Let me now begin with the first big story. This is an exclusive interview with filmmaker Ram Gopal Varma on several issues and also the Hema Committee Report and its fallout. That's coming up. That's the big story. That's an exclusive Ram Gopal Varma exclusive. The Hema Committee Report and of course other issues. The Hema Committee Report, which was released on 19th August, has had several fallouts. 17 charges against alleged perpetrators so far. Several accusations by women artists like Meenu Munir, Revati Sampath and even senior actor and producer Radhika Sarath Kumar. The setting up of an SIT by the Kerala government, an alleged accused MLA of the ruling LDF under the scanner. But you know what? What it has also perhaps done is made the film fraternity take a good hard look at how it treats the women workforce. Today we have with us a renowned director and producer joining us, and a man who not only created new benchmarks in cinema but has challenged many established norms. Without any delay, I want to welcome Ram Gopal Varma. Of course, I know the kind of, excitement we all have. We're having a bit of a problem with the connectivity, but Ram Gopal Varma shall speak to us on the fallout of the Hema Committee Report. Let me tell you the latest which has happened in the Hema Committee Report. Radhika Sarath Kumar, who's one of the senior most actors in Tamil industry, came out all guns blazing and said that when she was working in the Malayalam film industry, there were doubts that perhaps there were cameras kept in vanity vans, what are called caravans in South Indian cinema. So everyone asked her, what did you do? She said, I had no agency, I was a young actor. Although she comes from very, very influential family. She said, but today I'm a producer. And the onus is on us, that is the producers, the production people, to see that we give as much security to all the women actors, to the women artists. She was also, of course, asked about Rajnikant, who on Sunday, when he was asked at the airport as to whether he knew about the Hema Committee report, he turned around and said, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Complete ignorance, as it were. Okay. Radhika Sarath Kumar said it is quite possible that he didn't know about it. But the point is, if a man like that is Rajnikant, even spoke one line about the Hema Committee report, it gives that much padding, that much encouragement to a lot of women who work in the industry. Of course, Revati Asha, who's also member of the WCC, one of the founder members, spoke to me and she said it is very sad that there has been complete silence. But then how can we force the men in the industry to speak about it? You know what? When the Hema Committee report came, there was talk about how there are powerful men within the industry who actually control how the business works in several film industries, whether it is Malayalam, Hindi, Telugu, Kannada, etc., etc., etc. But then, after resigning as the chief of AMA, Mohanlal, one of the topmost actors in Malayalam film industry and actually a pan-Indian actor, said, there is really no powerhouse. What is the powerhouse that we are talking about? Let the law take its own course. Talking about Mohanlal and also talking about Mammootty, who pretty much said the same, I had spoken to actor who's actually a lawyer by profession, television actor and also film actor, Kasturi Shankar, and this is what she had said about Rajnikant. Listen in. Kasturi Shankar, welcome. Did it make you laugh or are you in shock? It made me laugh actually. It made Brinda Adige, she was in shock. Rajnikant saying, Hema Committee report? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about it. Great actor, isn't he, Kasturi Shankar?
I'm just sad. I'm not laughing. I'm not shocked. I'm sad. It's the very, very unfortunate statement from Mr. Rajnikant. I wish he had, I mean, I understand if an upcoming actor is worried about saying something and therefore keeps the peace. But what is Rajinikanth afraid of? Who is Rajinikanth afraid of? He's the kingpin. He can actually take a stand. One step from Rajinikanth would be a huge leap for gender equality in South Indian cinema, not just Tamil cinema. He is well respected in Telugu, Kannada. He's a pan-Indian legend. One word from him would have gone so far, and all he could say was, I don't know about it. No, of course he knows. I mean, no one's going to believe that he was completely under a rock for the last few days. No, it's so unfortunate. It's just so unfortunate.
So fine. So,
this was the man, Sudha, this was the man who just a few years ago, said he was going to clean up the system. He can't even clean up his own backyard. This is just so unfortunate.
I'm sorry, but Kasturi Shankar, you are one of the few who's agreed to speak out, because most of the people, the reaction was, you got to be kidding, Sudha. I mean, crazy. I'm not going to speak against the superstar, or else my career is just about over. But
we're not speaking against him.
Exactly.
This is a request to him.
Yeah.
Where am I speaking? Where is it to say that he should take a stance? It's not against Rajinikanth. It shows that we acknowledge his power and his popularity, and it's a fervent request.
Yeah,
he has 2 girl children who are both in the movie industry. Let them speak out.
Yeah. Kasturi, what do you think has made him, kind of deflect the entire issue, for lack of any other word? Because if you see there in the neighborhood, both Mohanlal and Mammootty have said there is no powerhouse, men are not dominating. And here in Tamil Nadu, he says, I haven't even heard of it. Is it to kind of make it disappear, obliterate it, as it were, completely?
No, it's actually worse than that. I'm not going to... what they said in Kerala is a complete denial of the problem. That's one thing. But to completely deny women totally, to say, I don't know about it all, to me, it sounds like it's not worth talking about. And that's why it's so unfortunate. He does not think... Either he thinks it's too hard to handle and he doesn't want to get into controversy, and I don't see why not, because he is the biggest name in the industry. He cannot get into trouble. He's immune from trouble. It's Rajinikanth, for God's sake. If he says something, everybody will have to follow suit and fall in line. They will have to say, oh my God, Rajini sir said this, therefore we need to clean up our act. How could he have asked for political leadership when he cannot even speak up for something? That is so... It's not a gossip, it's a report. It's a government report. It's the government of Kerala report. So there is nothing wrong in speaking about it. Who is he afraid of? Is he afraid of hurting the sentiments of some friends of his or some government? What is it? Why should he not be? I'm trying to understand that, Sudha.
All right, that's a bit on Hema Committee Report. I'm taking a break right now on the South Indian, but we come back. Lots of other news, just don't go away. Thank you.
Give it to me, pass. We'll put new glasses in the windows and they keep breaking it. This is the 4th time you are playing football throughout the day. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, uncle. I will now conquer the world by playing football. Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
For the very first time in our investigation, we unmasked the killer of Ravindra Matre.
In 5G, we have to stand with the world, and in 6G, we have to lead the world.
Winning a Grammy was an absolutely surreal experience. Joe Biden is not going to be the Democratic presidential nominee.
I made my choice. Kamala Harris. She's experienced. She's tough. She's capable.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
I am the one saving democracy.
He has tapped into the fear and anxiety about demographic change in the US.
This polarization in the United States. Some people are even suggesting that there could be a civil war.
You are this unable to solve your own domestic problems. You have no right to claim to be anybody else in the world. And we're moving into a multipolar world where the United States will not lead.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, that's the big story. Ram Gopal Varma exclusive on the South Indian, talking about the Hema Committee report and of course other issues as well. He is now connected with us on the phone line. A man, a renowned director and producer, and a man who not only created new benchmarks in cinema but has challenged many established norms. Let's welcome Ram Gopal Varma. Hello, Mr. Varma, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, yes I can.
Hi,
yes.
it's such a pity I can't see you, Mr. Varma. The entire office is standing outside the studio to see the genius, as it were.
Don't okay.
All right, let's talk about the Hema Committee report, Mr. Varma. Mr. Varma, do you think that it is now time that some kind of a change will be brought about finally? And I don't want to only cherry pick the Malayalam film industry. All throughout, there will be a change, because this has been, this has snowballed into a very big issue, Mr. Varma.
Yeah. See, frankly, I mean, this is not the first time this happened to start with, right from Harry Weinstein time to 2017. I feel, one problem is to generalize the thing, because they're on a very, very case-to-case basis what happens. And it happens mostly between people. And whenever the media makes a big hue and cry, I feel it will be there for maybe a couple of weeks or something, not more than that. And when it didn't work out last time, I don't see any reason why it should work out this time. And this is something which is being talked about probably since 20th Century Fox founder. It's been from there, actually.
Yeah.
So I feel the committee's recommendations, I'm not very sure they're practical, implemented. The reason being, 70 to 80% of the film industry, they're very fly-by-night operators. The producers, they just have some money from somewhere and they just want to make it for the glamour. But they also, by default, become a part of the industry. And most of what you're talking about there, I'm not saying it doesn't happen at big production houses. I'm not saying that. But the bulk of it will happen there. And that's a very unregulated kind of a organization where no rules can really work. But that is the main problem, because of the disorganized way the film industry functions. Yeah.
All right. So that is the reason, Mr. Varma, that a committee should be set up where I can go even if I'm a junior artist or I dance with the extras in the background, so that I can go and at least there can be an investigation. If it is not regulated, then, I understand people being...
My point is it cannot be regulated, because, this happens if, for example, someone wants to come and make a film,
Okay.
And right now there are unions, not that there are, like the Junior Artists Union is there, the Fighters Union, regarding the pay scale and those kind of things, they will try to kind of regulate that they get the money, what has been committed for. But in terms of the harassment issue, I believe it works on a very one-to-one level. Even the organizations can really not do it. And it's not as if the complaints won't come. But it is somewhere the desire of the actors to be there. And it doesn't happen the way it is being projected. Harassment doesn't come in a direct warning or a threat. It happens over a period of time. Like the first show a certain promise, a certain hope, where they slowly try to bend the will of the aspiring actress. And it happens slowly, and and each person will have a different way of doing it. And that to be curtailed and controlled, I really don't know.
Well, I think...
And as far as when the girl feels that kind of a pressure, anyway, the laws are there for her to, she can do a complaint anytime. We don't need an internal thing for that.
Most
So
of the
it will
time
first-
they are scared. You know, I recall a scene from your movie where this young girl goes for an audition to a man who is visually impaired. We remember that scene very well, and how she's exploited. Sir, I've seen all your movies. Let me tell you something, that, you know, in most cases, in that case the girl comes away. But in most cases, these are such helpless, a lot of people. You see, Mr. Varma, power comes when you try to exploit someone who's powerless. Yes, it has been happening, but should it be happening is my question. If my family is dependent on me, Mr. Varma, if I walk out of the film, it is not only that you throw me, that producer throws me out of the film, I'll be thrown out of the industry. Look at what happened to Sri Reddy, sir.
Yeah. No, see, I think that's a little bit exaggerated, what you're saying. See, first of all, I do not believe there exists a kind of a mafia who are going to get together and throw out an actress if she doesn't comply. See, it is possible, definitely for sure, that a guy will claim that he might tell a girl who's probably ignorant of the industry's working. He might make her believe that I control the industry, a large part of it, and I can see that you won't get any work. And on a threat or intimidation, an individual can do that. But I don't believe there's actually a mafia kind of a group doing that. You know, this is one part. Now the second part is, well, if for example, an actress comes, most of the time she'll be very ignorant about how the industry works, how casting happens, because they come from the small towns or probably not related to the film industry most of the time. So they are being told a lot of false information. The casting directors to assistant directors to various people will fill their heads with all kinds of misinformation.
Okay.
And she'll be very confused in context of what to believe and what not to believe. Now the other thing is, on a psychological level, see, if she's made to believe that she's going to get some work or an opportunity in a film, and she would believe, and the person who said that sometimes can maybe mean it, but he doesn't really have the power to make it happen. Sometimes they will blatantly lie for some kind of a sexual gratification, you know. And but it happens so, I mean, between one to one. I feel a committee. For example, there was a certain talk when the 2017 thing happened. All auditions only can happen in the presence of some committee members of the Artists Association or something to avoid this kind of a thing. But it is not practical, because most of this happen in WhatsApp on a personal level in chats. You know, these kind of whatever. Now the existing laws are there if the girl really wants to take someone to task. You know, but what I think is more important, the emphasis should be on educating the incoming actresses about how exactly the film industry functions, what kind of things can happen, what lies can happen, and just to keep a record of that.
Mr. Varma, who will tell her that? I mean, if you go from small town, she's coming from, you know, small village, let's say near Guntur, or she's coming from Pudukkottai in Tamil Nadu, who's there to tell her that these things will happen?
My one suggestion for that would be that if you, let us say there is a rule that they have to, anybody wanting to be an actress has to kind of enroll herself in a certain whatever, to the committee, like what unions are about. Like fighters, all of them have to enroll in the fighters union, you know. Now the union, because they're all they're gathered there, they can educate them, you know. One to one you cannot do, like you said, rightly said.
Yeah.
But if it's a rule that they have to be with this, where you're giving them a certain understanding of it, so that they'll be well armed and well informed about what can happen.
All right. I mean, that seems like information first before you're exploited. Let me also tell you, sir, that in Malayalam film industry, the makeup artists who are women, they say that we are given a card saying you're a hairdresser. So if you have to do makeup, then they say that I have to do sex on demand or favors or, you know, make compromises with all these makeup dadas who are there right on the top of the union. Mr. Varma, you know, one thing, I may be informed, but if... So what do I do? You look at it. I mean, even if there are rules.
That's what I'm saying. See, my point is what you said in the beginning of our chat. You said something. The power, exploit the power.
Yes.
Which is actually the main point of this whole thing. No matter which department it is, whether it's the film industry or the various departments in the film industry, when someone is vulnerable, it is a tendency of some human beings, maybe not all, to take advantage of that, you know. But now the advantage of that is also coming not really because of a direct force, like rape or something. It comes from a mental intimidation, like you're taking off the food from your mouth. If you don't do this, so they come from certain desire, certain ambition, and a certain necessity, certain whatever reasons the actress will come. So she will be probably be mentally intimidated more than anything else to make her feel that she'll be a complete failure if she doesn't comply.
Yeah.
Now, and when that is happening, on a one-to-one basis in such kind of circumstances, I feel except for really making the girl know, what. Okay, I'll tell you one example. I was long time back, one actress, struggling actress, she asked me, is it okay to sleep for work? Something like that, So I told her, I don't think it's so much about sleeping, because see, when you're saying can I sleep for work, which means you're doing it on the promise of work. Right. Now, if the work doesn't happen, see, what you think of being physically intimate, how seriously you take it is a personal issue. That I don't want to comment on. But if you're doing it because someone is promised you work, and if he doesn't do that, and that will scar you forever, because you lose your trust in life and in relationships and everything. So that is a more serious issue for me than the so-called physical intimacy.
Right, but I feel terrible that an artist has to ask. I mean, it's a choice to sleep, to have relationships. I'm not here to sit on judgment. But if the end goal is to get work, Mr. Varma, if the end goal is to get work, like I'm a journalist, if my end goal is to get work and therefore get into a relationship, that shows the sad state, and it is not that it is only in the film industry.
Nobody is saying it's not a sad state. I am talking about the practical aspects of it.
Yeah. Mr. Varma, Mr. Varma, I also want to talk to you about, what, I don't know if you want to comment on it, but yesterday on Sunday when Rajinikanth was asked, he said, what Hema Committee? I don't know anything about it. This kind of silence, you are coming out and speaking about it, Mr. Varma, you may have your own opinion, but whether it is the big daddies who are the actors who sit there and films revolve around them, when they talk like this, don't you think that, I don't know what to do.
I am sorry to disagree with that, because the basic point here is, Mr. Rajinikanth has been in the industry for God knows 40, 50 years or something. In terms of when something happening, and a star is about him doing his work as an actor. So I don't think it's a part of a committee with a responsible organization. It's not like giving two bits about it, this should not happen, and making those noises. What will that... So I won't be able to speak for him, whether he knows about it, whether he is busy in something else or whatever. But even if he talks, what can he talk? Unlike Mr. Mohanlal, who was a president of that committee or something, I don't think Rajinikanth is in any such post. So what can he say? I'm not able to imagine what he can say.
Right. And
condemnation, obviously everybody will do. Whose ears is going to go and fall into?
Right. I also, before I let you go, Mr. Varma, in the Telugu film industry where you started your career, in 2022 there was apparently a report, but nothing was done about it. There was complete silence. They said it's very vague. Come with something which is, it's vague because, I do not know the reasons. But do you think that if a report is made, Mr. Varma, whoever, I get along, 6 people do it, the government has to do something about it. You can't just say, okay, fine, you've complained. It's not a school, right?
Now, see, if suppose any of them go to a police station and complain that so-and-so has done such and such thing, that recourse in the law is anyway there, no? Whether the committee is there in between, how does it make a difference? Any of them could have actually gone to the police. And right now, the laws are very strict with regard to any kind of harassment towards women, irrespective of whether they're the film industry or not.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't see that, yeah.
All right. On that note, Ram Gopal Varma, thank you so much for speaking with us. It was a complete pleasure and an honor. Thank you indeed. That was Ram Gopal Varma exclusively talking to the South Indian on News9 about what does the Hema Committee report mean. This is unmissable because he has his own take on the entire thing. He says you're harassed, go complain. Don't wait for a committee. That's what he's net saying. I'm going to take a break, but then after that, 35 people dead as floods continue to wreak havoc in both Andhra and Telangana. Both the CMs of the state urged centre to declare it as a national calamity. That's coming up.
Fast.
My God, isn't she your daughter?
Yes.
She's playing football. This is boys' game. Make her study. If she doesn't get a good job, she will get a good match. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, auntie. My daughter will win the world by playing football.
Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
This is News9 Live, India's only digital exclusive live stream. For the early adopters, bringing you the news 24/7. For the smart audiences on the smartest TVs. News9 Live. Stream now on your smart TVs.
And Muktiwani Yoda, who was aide to Sheikh Mujib, came to my show. I told him that the family of Sheikh Mujib is under captivity of the Pakistani forces. The first lady came with Sheikh Mujib and she embraced me and said, the God, the Allah has sent you to save us. Modi ji and the Hasina, during talk, she brought out this point again, that Major Ashok Tara of Indian Army said me, my mother, my sister, my brother, we got independent on 17th December because of Ashok Tara.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, that's the big story. Andhra and Telangana swamped after being ravaged by continuous rains. The two Telugu-speaking states, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, are now bracing themselves for the aftermath of a disaster. In Telangana, 16 people died in rain-related incidents, while 4,000 people were shifted to relief camps. 4,15,000 acres, ladies and gentlemen, of crops have been damaged. 275 trains have been cancelled and 149 diverted as the tracks remain waterlogged along multiple locations on the South Central Railway network. In neighbouring Andhra Pradesh, the death toll was 19 in NTR, Guntur and Prakasam districts, and 3 people were reported missing in NTR district. Now, Telangana Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy, who toured the flood-impacted districts of Nalgonda and Khammam, said the government has decided to set up a state disaster response force, that is SDRF, to tackle emergency situations in the future. The government has decided to enhance ex gratia for families of those who died due to floods from 4 lakhs to 5 lakhs each, and for milch animals to 50,000 from the existing 30,000. The Chief Minister also announced an interim relief of 10,000 each to the flood-impacted families. Now, the IMD has issued a yellow alert in 10 districts of Telangana for today as well. On the other side, in Chandrababu Naidu, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, also visited one of the worst affected areas in the state, and that being Vijayawada, and spoke to people who were stuck helplessly in their homes amid several feet of swirling waters that gushed from the Krishna River and the Budameru rivulet. Even as the centre assured both chief ministers of all the possible support from the central government, both Naidu and Reddy have appealed to the centre that the current situation be declared as a national calamity. Across to my colleague Sheikh Noor, who is joining us from Hyderabad. Sheikh Noor Mohammed, can you hear me? बोल रहे शेख नूर मोहम्मद, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका कि आप हमारे साथ जुड़े। हैदराबाद में आज क्या हालात हैं नूर, ये बताइए।
देखिए, दोनों राज्यों के लगातार मुख्यमंत्री फील्ड पर है, वो लगातार केंद्र सरकार से बात कर रहे हैं। जिस तरह से तेलंगाना का अगर मैं सिचुएशन की बात करूं तो खम्मम सबसे ज़्यादा अफेक्टेड रहा है। इस खम्मम के अंदर आज ऑलरेडी तेलंगाना के चीफ मिनिस्टर रेवंत रेड्डी भी वहाँ की आम जनता के दरमियान में है। वो लगातार वहाँ की जो भी परेशानियाँ और दिक्कतें हैं वो तमाम आला अधिकारियों के साथ वो जितना जल्द हो सके वो कोशिश करने के लिए इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं। देखिए, रेवंत रेड्डी बाज़ाब्ता वो पीएम से भी बात कर रहे हैं, लगातार केंद्र सरकार की मदद भी मांग रहे हैं। सबसे बड़ा बुरा हाल अगर मैं बात करूँ तो विजयवाड़ा का है, जहाँ पर विजयवाड़ा में अभी तक 19 लोगों की मौत हुई, जबकि तेलंगाना का सिचुएशन भी बहुत बुरा ही रहा है। देखिए, सुबह से चंद्रबाबू नायडू ऑलरेडी फील्ड पर है, एनडीआरएफ की टीमें भी काम कर रही हैं लगातार। जिस तरह की जो फूड पैकेज जो है वो एनडीआरएफ के टीमों के ज़रिए से जो छतों पर है उन तक पहुंचाई जा रही है। और दूसरी तरफ आंध्र प्रदेश का जो रेल का जो रास्ता था वो पूरी तरह टूटा हुआ है। साउथ सेंट्रल रेलवे वो पूरी तरह उसका काम भी कर रही है। अब दूसरी तरफ जो आवाजाही जो सड़क जो थी वो टूट चुकी है। एक तरफ से तेलंगाना और आंध्रा के दोनों के बीच में ये सड़क पूरी तरह बनाने की कोशिश दोनों राज्यों की तरफ मिलते जा रहे हैं। देखिए, दूसरी तरफ हैदराबाद के कई तालाबें और कई नहरें जो पीने के पानी की थे वो पूरी तरह फुल हो चुकी हैं। जिस तरह से अगर मैं बता दूं कि ये उस्मान सागर है जो पूरी तरह भर चुका है। इस सिचुएशन को देख के आप अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि तेलंगाना और आंध्रा के अंदर किस तरह से बारिश हुई है। देखिए, जहां तक कैमरा जूम करके मेरा कैमरामैन बताएंगे आपको कि पूरी तरह भर चुका है। ये वो इलाका है जहाँ पे पूरे हैदराबाद के लिए पानी सप्लाई किया जाता था पीने के लिए, आज ये पूरी तरह भर चुका है। यहाँ पे पूरी तरह और सिक्योरिटी और फोर्सेस भी लगा दी गई है क्या है कि यहाँ के कोई इत्तेफाकी हादसा ना हो। 24 घंटे राज्य सरकार और हैदराबाद मेट्रो वाटर जो पोल्यूशन की जो अधिकारी है वो लगातार यहाँ पे एक नज़र बनाए रखे हुए हैं। और दूसरी तरफ दोनों राज्यों के मुख्यमंत्री लगातार पीएम से और आला अधिकारियों से बात कर रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे जल्दी जल्द सहायता हो सके। और जिस तरह से जो सिचुएशन हमने विजयवाड़ा में देखा है वो इंतहाई बुरा है। देखिए, जो मेट्रो सिटीज़ थे वहाँ पे तो राज्य सरकार लगातार कोशिश कर रही है कि वहाँ पे किसी भी तरह से उनका मसला हल कर दिया जाए। और दूसरी तरफ जो विलेजेस वाले इलाके थे वहाँ पे पूरी तरह सड़कें टूट चुकी हैं और राज्य सरकार अब पूरी तरह ये कोशिश कर रही है कि जो बह चुके हैं, जो मिसिंग बताई जा रही है वो कौन है और कहाँ पर है, ये राज्य सरकार पूरी कोशिश कर रही है कि उनको ढूंढ निकाला जाए। और तमाम आम जनता से भी दोनों राज्यों के जो मुख्यमंत्री हो बाज़ाब्ता बार बार रिक्वेस्ट भी कर रहे हैं कि अगर आपके पास कोई मिसिंग का केस है तो बाज़ाब्ता वो अधिकारियों को बताएं। मगर फिलवक्त विजयवाड़ा और खम्मम का हाल जो है जो कल के मुकाबले में आज काफ़ी ठीक लग रहा है।
शेख नूर मोहम्मद, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका हैदराबाद से जुड़ने के लिए और हमको ये नज़ारा दिखाने के लिए। हुसैन सागर देर, माय कॉलीग, शोइंग यू व्हाट द रियल सिचुएशन। ही सेज एट लीस्ट द मेट्रोस, द सिटीज आर डूइंग वेल. It's a rural area where the roads are broken, where it will take a long time for people to actually get back on track. Now, you know, part 2 of this story is Vijayawada, of course, was the worst impacted, much like what Noor told you. And as many as 2.76 lakh people in 17 wards, including Sundaraya Nagar, Rajiv Nagar, Prakash Nagar, Kandrika, Golapudi, Singh Nagar, Payakapuram and Nunna were hit during the breach to the Budameru rivulet. Many people were seen helplessly stranded in their homes with no power, water and food. Of course, there is no doubt that Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu spent an entire night visiting the flooded areas in boats, assuring those who were affected of all the help and relief. But then there is one question There is one question which has been the bane of during several natural disasters, much like what happened in Wayanad a month ago when the landslides happening. The question is, were the warning signals heeded? You know, in a political slugfest which has erupted over the same question in Andhra, former Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy said, and I am quoting him here, he said, the weather department issued an extreme rainfall alert on August 28 for Krishna, NTR and Guntur districts, along with Khammam, Nalgonda and the Krishna River catchment areas in Telangana. However, instead of reviewing the situation with the irrigation, revenue and home departments on measures to tackle the rains and flood situation, the government ignored the forecast issued by the weather department. Let me add here that Andhra has witnessed unprecedented rainfall this time around, and as it becomes the norm rather than an exception in many cases, should the warning signals be more timely, accurate, with government acting super active? Let's debate. Narayana Murthy, spokesperson for the YSRCP, is joining us, and also K. Pattabhiram. Let me welcome both the guests and also tell you this is going to be a very crisp and quick debate, because I don't want at this time of trouble for us to be politically, debating this when people have lost their homes and many people are missing. Let me go to Mr. Narayana Murthy. Mr. Narayana Murthy, do you think that the current government, Naidu government in Andhra Pradesh, did not give enough attention to the warning signals, sir? Unmute yourself, Mr. Murthy.
Definitely. See, before flood coming to the state, they are supposed to alert everyone in the state and whatever the affected areas in Vijayawada. They did not do it. All of the sudden flood has come. Then after flood coming to the city, all wards in Vijayawada, Singnagar and surrounding, then people are going there. Chandrababu Naidu, Chief Minister, is going there, no doubt in that. But when Chandrababu Naidu with Z+ category is very VVIP and security also very high, and every official of the state and the police and all departments surrounding him only. No, how they'll serve the people? No,
but I saw, sir, Mr. Narayana Murthy, I am not a supporter of any political party, but I saw Mr. Naidu spending a night.
Let me tell you,
sitting in a boat, talking to people.
That's what I'm telling. Talking will not help over there. Of course, they can understand. They can ask the questions. They can get the feedback from the people. No doubt in that. I'm not denying. I'm not at all denying.
Then?
But Chandrababu Naidu, like a very VVIP, with all that security, if he is there in the flooded area, then all officials are pay attention on the Chandrababu Naidu.
Okay, fine. I understand that. But that is a protocol for a CM. But I am asking you, Mr. Narayana Murthy, were they slow when were they slow in reacting? Sir, that's my story, sir, Mr. Murthy. Was the government slow in reacting to the warning signals, Mr. Narayana Murthy?
Definitely, no, that's what I'm telling. They're supposed to alert people well before flood is coming to the state. They do not do it. That is what, that is why people are unable to go out of the area which is affected very drastically. Why people, around 3 lakh people are in the flood only. They are unable to come out of the house.
All right, let me go to... Right.
Food,
yeah, this is a question.
To get it. Of course, they are using drones, no doubt in that. But how many drones? How many people it will help? 40, 45 people per day. One drone. How many drones you are using? How many boats we are using?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that Vijayawada has been deluged like this. Ajit Singh Nagar, if I'm getting the name right, people are really, they are suffering. But then we saw at least a proactive chief minister, but the question is more important is, did the government pay heed to the signal in time? Because there in Kerala, apparently, it went on and on. Yes, Central Water Commission also gave them a signal and other authorities, but Kerala government said, no, we did not get that. It will be such a deluge, so on and so forth. That's what one is trying to understand. Mr. K. Pattabhiram, what do you think? Do you think that you could have been a little more alert? Good evening, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. See, the situation, as we have seen, is unprecedented.
Yes.
In the history of Vijayawada. I myself is a citizen of this city from the past more than 40 years, and I have never seen so much of rainfall in one single day, more than 28 centimeters of rainfall in one single day. Imagine the kind of scenario that might arise after such a huge downpour. The government, yes, the Chandrababu Naidu ji, as we all know, is a master in disaster management and natural calamities. And whenever there is a warning of a cyclone or a flood, he takes it very seriously. The government had alerted the people, but there are two issues here. One is no one had imagined such a huge downpour in a short span of 24 hours.
That's
and
right.
the second problem which had happened is there was also huge flood water which is coming from states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana. All the catchment areas of the Krishna River were also full.
Because you're on the downslope. Your state is on the downslope.
Both the things added together.
But my question is this, Mr. Pattabi Ram, you know, when the earlier government was there, I remember Mr. Chandrababu Naidu saying you did not give enough attention to the flood warnings. I remember.
No, see the problem, I'll tell you the problem. See, apart from the two issues which I have raised, the other main thing which had happened in Vijayawada is due to lack of maintenance of the Budameru Canal. Budameru Canal is a very important canal which runs for about 11 kilometers along the city of Vijayawada. And from the past 5 years, that canal was not at all maintained. No silt was taken from that canal, due to which the water got logged. The water
I understand. But Mr. Pattabi Ram, I can't, I'm talking about the warning signals. Were you a tad late in reacting? My question.
No, not at all. The Chandrababu Naidu ji never gets late on these kind of alerts. He in fact had alerted all the district administration officials, all the people were alerted. It's not like the previous government. We have seen what happened during the rainfalls in Rayalaseema, and when the Annamaya project, the gate of the Annamaya project got washed away.
All right.
And 2-3 districts got completely submerged. See, it is not the failure of the government. It is because this kind of unprecedented rainfall was never seen in the past more than 50 years.
That's my next story. And I have to go to someone who's a climate expert. So I'll have to stop you there. Mr. Narayan Murthy, that is what I'm going to find out now. Someone is joining me to talk about why such rain. Mr. Narayan Murthy, quickly tell me, how could this government have done it better? Quickly, in 30 seconds.
That's what, well in advance, they could have informed the people, and many areas, very low down areas are there. They should have lifted people from there to safer areas. And more rehabilitation centers should have established, and food is not there, food is not available, water is not available, milk is not available. One woman died yesterday in the house, unable to take out that body at least outside. So they are suffering a lot. They could have
these are
much better way, I said.
These are very sad stories. But then the thing is, one common thing is the warning system and how quickly we can, of course, react to that, so that we don't sit back and regret that so and so was, something was blocked, we could not save lives. That's what is the moot point. I don't want it to be a political shouting match, because we are all standing today with both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. My thanks are due to both Narayana Murthy as well as Mr. Pattabi Ram. Thank you so much. Let me now move to the second story. Like Pattabi Ramji said, the rainfall in Andhra's Vijayawada district received a cumulative rainfall of 329.7 mm against the normal, which is 17.1 mm, which is an incredible 1,828% surplus between 31st August and 2nd September. And the entire Vijayawada city received a cumulative rainfall of 327.2 mm, which is a surplus of, brace yourself, 2,220% during the period. What is the reason for this, even as the state is struggling to find its feet after the disaster? Now, the Budameru stream, of course, flowing through Vijayawada city is a problem. It's flooded several colonies, forcing around 2 lakh people to take shelter on the roof of the buildings. Chief Minister Naidu has done everything possible. The center has also come to help them. But the point is, that when there is a fury of nature like this, unprecedented, human efforts will always look very, very small. What is the reason for this abnormal rainfall in Andhra Pradesh? Let's understand. Karuna Sagar, scientist who's from IMD, is joining us on the thing. Mr. Sagar, thank you so much for joining. Mr. Sagar, one has seen that there is unprecedented rains throughout India. We see every time we are discussing this. 2,220% in Vijayawada. What is the reason, Mr. Sagar?
Yeah, no, thank you. Actually, it is not like a historical event. 100 years back also this much of flood was happened, but one thing is the same amount of rainfall leads to a lot of flood right now. This is because of the urbanization, we can say. If you see the synoptic conditions, whatever they available that day, there was a low pressure system formed over Bay of Bengal on 28th and on 29th, and it became the depression also. That depression crossed Andhra Pradesh on 31st midnight. So even though it crossed over the Kalingapatnam and adjoining region, but the extended spiral bands will give a lot of devastated weather. One thing is, almost on 31st, we got a 26 centimeter rainfall in Amaravati. Whatever the rainfall occurred
Sir,
in Amaravati,
is it, Mr. Sagar, this is because so that ordinary people like me can understand it. You say it's not a historical event. 100 years is a long time back, sir. I mean, we are not even independent. Wait a minute, sir. Not even independent. We are only 78 years as independent nation. So it's a historical event. I'm saying it's unprecedented. I'm asking you for the reason, sir, that is it because of climate change? Because we are seeing it in Kerala, we are seeing it in Telangana, we are seeing it in Maharashtra. Across India, we are seeing unprecedented rainfall, and all the scientists are saying it's because of climate change. You know, extreme winter, extreme summer. So I'm asking you, is Vijayawada the victim of climate change, Mr. Sagar?
Madam, for every time we can say that this is because of the climate change. But of course, climate change is also playing a major role. In addition to that, there are several features like climatic parameters that also play the major role. So mainly we can say that the synoptically, the system whatever formed over Bay of Bengal, that is there. And in addition to that, there was a MGO, Maiden Junior Oscillation, that also enhanced the lot of convection over the Bay of Bengal, and also neutral ENSO condition, neutral IOD condition, and the equatorial Raspberry views. This plays a major role to contribute a lot of convection, and because of that, it poured the rain. So another thing is, if you talk about the particularly only on Vijayawada, this is mainly because the flood is mainly because of the Bodameru culvert. So that was breached. That is because of the unprecedented rainfall or exceptionally extremely heavy rainfall happened over the.
Asking you that it's unprecedented. That's right. Even the Prakasam, I mean, one of the, there has been damage to the Prakasam canal. I'm asking you, Budameru, for instance, we had guests just now, they said it was completely clogged. It flooded the entire city. It's like, the Noah's deluge, as it were, from the Bible. Everywhere there was water. So it is unprecedented, and I think we'll have to do, scientists have to kind of see to it that the states are advised so that they are better prepared. Next time, I've completely run out of time. Karuna Sagarji, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast. And as promised, ladies and gents, I leave you with some of the other top headlines from the south of India. Thank you for watching. Vanakkam.
quite lived up to their pre-tournament billing, delivering a series of less than convincing performances. With 2 draws and a solitary win.
Your son will be Messi. No studies, just football all day. Go, my son, go. Make my face shine through playing football.
Not only your face, but also the country's. I will conquer the world.